What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another week of my training. I hope you guys have been enjoying these videos. I've been doing my best to try to give as much value in these as I possibly can. And I want to remind you that if there is a topic you want me to talk about in these videos, please let me know in the comments below. My goal is to help you guys get as strong and as jacked as possible. So with that said, let's get into today's topic. And that is why I think you should try to auto-regulate your training and at least try to learn autoregulation. So part of the reason I want to learn autoregulation is because it makes making strength gains less of a guessing game. And here's why. So if you do a program you find on the internet, for example, say it's Shaco or the Johnny Candido 6-week program, you don't actually know how long that program is going to work for you. We adapt to training volume, and we can't really predict how or when. Well, we can kind of predict how, but we don't really predict when. And our bodies are smarter than we give them credit for, and that's just like plain and simple. The moment our body adapts to that training program, we stop making gains because ultimately, in order to make more gains, we'll need more volume, more of a training effect. The thing about autoregulation, not to say you can't stall out or hit a plateau on autoregulation, but what's nice about it is there's something called fatigue stops. And if you use fatigue stops in your training, it can help prevent plateauing from happening. And essentially, a fatigue stop is when, say, your program calls for triples and you make your fatigue stop at an RPE 9. You're supposed to do RPE 8. You do 5 sets and all are at an RPE 8. So you keep going and your next set is an RPE 9. There, then you know you're done with the exercise. Rather than just giving yourself a straight program of sets and reps, this is what I'm going to do today. If you use autoregulation, you can let performance dictate the volume or the amount of training effect you get. So as you progress, you will get better and stronger in training. Your performance will also increase, which will allow you to do more volume and get enough of a training effect to super compensate and get stronger. Also, using RPEs isn't the only way to auto-regulate your training. You could do this other ways. So if you have the resources at your disposal and you can, say, measure bar speed, you can use that to determine whether you are fatigued enough or not. For example, if your bar speed starts to drop off after a couple sets, then you know you can cut the exercise. And this doesn't even just apply to lifting. Say you're a sprinter or you're running sprints, you're a football player trying to get faster in the 40. If your average time in the 40 for your first 5 sprints are a 4.5 and you run a sprint and it's a 4.6 and then you run the next sprint, say these are attempts 6 and 7 and they're at a 4.65, then you would cut the session and move on to something else. I know this is more of an advanced method, but in my opinion, it is super useful because this allows the program to conform to your needs and your level versus having a program that was laid out and probably written for someone else, and you're just trying to see if it will work for you as well. It may turn out that it's not a bad program, but you are either too inexperienced or too advanced to get enough of a training effect for you to make gains. So I know that was kind of a rant, but to talk about this week of training, kicked up the volume a little bit, did 5 sets of 5 for all of my main core lifts, and what I did was I kind of waived the weight. So in week 1, if you're following along, I'm actually doing the same training weights for the most part as I did in week 1, and this is just something that I did because in week 2 I stepped up the intensity and went a little heavier, and in this one I upped the volume just a little bit from week 1. I was doing 24 total reps per exercise, and in this one I'm doing 25, but I'm also doing 1 extra rep per set and I'm doing less sets. So that's more of like, in my opinion, it's more of like a mental thing. Like I knew I could do, that, but kind of like a thing to say like, oh, you're getting better per set to, just ensure that I'm in my head making progress. So, this is week 3, the end of week 3. I'm going to be transitioning to a intensity block next week. So I'm excited to see how that goes. My body's feeling good. I'm just gonna keep hitting the foam roller, just recovering my ass off. So that's basically it. Guys, I hope this helped. I hope that that's really all I have for today, but I just want to say thanks again for watching. Comment, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one. Deuces.